Hi, Heidi, and welcome to you to the Summit of Positive Image Movement. Thank you so much for being a speaker of the summit. We can start by you introducing yourself.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm delighted to be with you today. My name is Heidi Dulaban, and I live in the United States. I'm an international etiquette and uh, cross-cultural consultant. I work with many people, from individuals, from emerging leaders to C-suite professionals. I work with many corporations. I work with university students even, and I enjoy that very much, all trying to just improve their etiquette and their presence. This is how you present yourself to the world. It matters. You need to be able to communicate well and present yourself well. And so I hope that this will be helpful to all the viewers of the summit.
I'm sure we'll have an amazing session from your side.
Thank you.
So let's start by talking about the executive presence that you were talking.
Yes, executive presence is it's a wonderful term. It was the the term executive presence was coined by a wonderful woman named Sylvia Hewlett, and she wrote a great book called Executive Presence (EP). And since then, many people have written about it. It's something. It's that one thing you know about someone, but you just can't put your finger on it. All of us have met a person in our lives. Maybe you know some woman and she's just extraordinary. She just presents herself well. She's well spoken. She just, as we say in America, she just has it going on. And we would say she just has it, that it factor. And what is that it? It's executive presence. And you can break this down into different parts. And it's about having gravitas. It's about being able to be strong when you need to be strong. Sometimes you have to speak truth to power. You have to be strong in tough situations, and you have to be able to communicate. It's all about communication. You might be the most brilliant person in the world, but if you cannot portray your message well, no one's going to hear it or maybe understand it.
Mhm.
And then the final part of executive presence, the smallest part, is actually how you look.
Mhm.
Yet, how you look is very important. That gets you in the door. And then from there, your gravitas and communication skills will take over. But you need to be, and that does not mean your presence that you need to be this very beautiful person. It means you need to be just put together, be neat and tidy, wear clothes that are appropriate and fit you. It's these kinds of things. Any body type can have a wonderful executive presence. It's about taking some pride and some time in yourself and just get yourself together.
As
And
you just
then,
mentioned, that small conversations, can you just give us few examples so that the audience can understand better that what is the correct way to say and what is the wrong, what is the not the right way to say it?
oh, the not the right way to say it. Well, maybe you could introduce yourself. I work with a lot of people and say, would you please introduce yourself? And they'll say, hi. They won't look at people. And in certain cultures, you don't look at people in the eye. So you need to be very aware of which culture are you talking about. Is it appropriate? I'm here in the United States, so it's appropriate for me to look someone in the eye and say, how do you do? My name is Heidi Dulaban. I'm an international etiquette and cultural consultant. That is an introduction, tells you my name and what I do. I work with so many people that will just sort of look away and say, hi, I'm Heidi. And they look down, they look away, they give one name, just hi. And no, you need to present yourself well. Be proud of who you are, be strong, and introduce yourself with pride. It's
Right.
about,
I think you have to be proud of yourself. I think that's the main aim.
you
Theme.
have to be proud of yourself for all that you're doing, and every one of us. We're doing more than you think you're doing. You're helping more people. Look at all the people you're helping. Bravo. I applaud what you're doing. It's about having respect. Have respect for yourself. Present yourself well. How do you do? My name is Heidi Dulaban. And I'm trying to respect myself, but more importantly, I'm trying to be respectful to you, the person I'm meeting. Respect the people around you.
Yes. So how can we make the first impression really good?
Well, the very first thing, you are sized up. They used to say in 7 seconds. It's now about a nanosecond, less than the blink of an eye. When you walk in, someone has sized you up and you've spoken volumes before you said a word. It's very interesting. It's a whole science. There's a lot of research in there. So you need to, as we said, be neat and tidy. Make sure your clothes fit and make sure they're the appropriate. Don't come in jeans and hoodies as we wear here for a business situation. If you do that, it's disrespectful. It says, I don't care enough about myself and I don't care enough about you to the people you're meeting. So it's disrespectful. So for your situation, say you're going in for a job interview. For that industry, look the part. You do not need to spend tons of money. I'm I feel strongly about that. You do not need to spend a lot of money. Just take the clothes you have, make sure they're ironed, they're clean, they're pressed, they fit, and put your best self forward. Make sure your hair, your nails, you're groomed properly, and walk in and introduce yourself in this business situation, and you're going to do just fine.
Oh, wow. Also, give us few tips that how to be more confident in ourselves and our own presence.
That is the trick, because it's a lack of confidence when people look down and they are
Yes.
speak quiet.
Mm.
So have some confidence. One little exercise you can do is just sit down one day, have a cup of tea, and sit down and just jot down all the things you do well. Don't share it with anyone, just yourself, because someone might think, oh, they're bragging, but just think of, what do you do well? do you do you speak very well? Can you tell a good story? What are your experiences? You've had terrific jobs. Maybe you volunteered in your community. Look at all the wonderful things you do and all the things that you do well, and think of that and look at this list. It will be longer than you think. And that should give you confidence that you can walk in any place. You can do anything if you have confidence. And what you don't know, some technical skills for a certain job, you can learn them.
Right.
And they will want to teach you if you walk in with this confidence. So just remember who you are and be proud of all of the experiences you've had in your life. They make you who you are. And that's a marvelous thing. And you just
Right.
have to stop and realize that.
Hmm. So we are here to just to make the women out there feel and embrace themselves and become more confident. So any few more tips that you can suggest them to love themselves and become a positive person, as you have helped so many people around there.
Yes, one exercise I do when I'm coaching executives, I ask them to, we have 2 or 3 questions. What is it that and ask some of their colleagues and peers and a superior, maybe their boss, and at the same just 2 or 3 questions, and say, ask them to write about me. Say, if, for instance, in my example, me, I could ask a friend, a colleague, and maybe a boss to say, what are my best qualities? Why do you like working with me? And what skills could I improve upon? And it is fascinating when you will ask people to be honest. And you have to be a little tough skinned, because sometimes they will come back and say, well, actually, really, they could improve on their writing skills. They speak so well, but they need to keep practice your writing. It'll improve. or whatever the feedback, be ready to take the advice, and rather than feedback, think of it as advice. These are from people you care about, they care about you, and they want to help you. And that's very powerful exercise. And people that just needs to be all open minds and honesty.
I think honesty is the key. Everyone has to be honest to themselves at least.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. What amazing session from your side. Thank you for being a speaker of the Summit for Positive Image Movement.
Well, I'm so delighted to be here. It was my great honor, and best wishes to all of you that are attending. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm proud of you, and be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Thank